Right guys, Mark Crossfield here, how to play a hybrid. This is one of my favourite clubs. This is a 23-degree hybrid. You can use these ideas for different lofts if you've got different amounts of hybrids. We're going to talk kind of ball position, general setup, how you should swing, what you should expect when playing hybrids, how to get the most out of your golf with these clubs. Welcome to my basic hybrid video. Hope this helps. Post in the comments down below. Let me know what lofts of hybrids you game. If you've got 1, 2, 3 of them, let me know what lofts down there. Let me know in the card up here if you're more of a hybrid player or a long iron player. I'm presuming more of you are hybrid players, but let me know in that card. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Daily golf videos, all things basic, all things complex, all things golf. And if you've been here for years, hello again. Make sure you've got the bell icon turned on so you don't miss an upload. Let's get playing some hybrids. So when I'm playing a hybrid, let's say I'm 200 yards out, and obviously you can do this from any different yardage. I'm going to be trying to get this ball to go up in the air. I want it peak heighting. I want it coming down with some kind of stop. So everything I do with this club is going to be about trying to make sure I launch it and get it up into the sky. So let's kick off with ball position. So many people talk about ball position when it comes to hybrids. Where should they play it? Now for me, I am going to play it not as forward as I play my driver, but more forward than I play a 7-iron. Think about what I'm saying there. I want to help it up in the air more than a 7-iron because this is 23 degrees of loft. It's got less loft than my 7-iron. But I don't want to help it in the air as much as my driver, which only has 9.25 degrees of loft. So I'm going to play it between where I hit my driver and where I hit my 7-iron. Now I could tell you just to put it slightly forward in your stance, but the trouble is if you get your 7-iron going really high and you play a driver from say 1 inch to 2 inches inside your left heel, then the hybrid you would play probably from a little bit further back from that driver position. So it's got to relate to your positions that you set up to as well. So for me, pushing it more forward of 7-iron, but not as forward as driver. What that will do is it will make my angle of attack, so how that club descends into the ball, a little bit shallower. I'm still going to be hitting this club on the way down. So my 7-iron, when I hit a 7-iron, my club is descending by 4 to 6 degrees into the ball, so on the way down. When I hit my driver, it's 2 to 4 degrees on the way up. When I hit my hybrid, I push it forward. That doesn't make me hit it on the way up. I'm still hitting it on the way down, but only 1 or 2 degrees, so almost level with the ground. Again, sweeping, trying to get some launch. But I need an element of down because generally hybrids, the ball's on the floor. So I'm going to have to interact with that ground in some ways. So that ball position slightly forward, but not as forward as a driver, gives me that kind of sweet spot of launch. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to stand to it like any normal golf shot. I'm going to try and create good posture, leaning forward from my waist, get my shoulders slightly forward of my toes. My grip doesn't change, I'm holding it the same way. One thing I will do is I'm not afraid to move my hands down and up the grip. So if I want this to go 190 rather than the 200 yards, I'm not afraid to do all the normal things I'm doing that I'm talking about now, but moving my hands up and down the grip like an iron. Again, the hybrid is such a blend between slightly forward ball position, close to my driver almost, but then I am moving my hands around on the grip like I would an iron because you're trying to hit an exact distance. Now when it comes to my golf swing, I'm going to make exactly the same action that I would make with any similar lofted club. I'm not going to feel, like I said earlier, hitting down or particularly hitting up much more. My ball position is doing that for me. But what I will do is I will be very aware of what loft I'm hitting and how the ball shapes with that different loft, because my 19-degree hybrid shapes differently to my 23. My 23 is much easier to draw, a bit more loft, very easy to pop it up in the air. So I tend to aim this one slightly more down the right, where when you take loft away from my hybrid, so give me 19s or 17 degrees, they tend to go straighter, if anything slightly fade. So I'm not going to play all my hybrids aiming wise, shot shape wise, exactly the same way, and I think that's a big mistake amateurs make. They think, right, this is my hybrid, I'm going to do my hybrid swing. Yes, do all those movements, but as loft changes, you'll find your delivery changes, and in turn your shape of shots will definitely change. So I've got that ball position slightly forward of the 7 and back from the driver. I've got my standard posture. I'm aiming middle to right side of the green because my 23 does tend to draw, and I'm going to give good commitment, good follow through, and try and give it a good old hit. It pops up in the air lovely, that will land. I'm happy with that one, straight at it. And if you come and have a look here, you're going to see I do actually take a little bit of interaction with the ground. On this instance, I've taken a divot. So some of the shots I will just pluck it off the top, and some I will be taking a slight divot. It's moist here this morning, so easy to get into that grass. So don't be afraid, obviously, if you are taking a little bit of ground, because it is designed to get in and out with the sole. It will get in and then bounce out. What you don't want to be doing is not interacting with the ground, because you're going to get a variation of lies on the floor, from long to grass to really tight grass, slight divots, those kind of things. And what's going to happen is you are going to have to get into that turf to get the perfect strike. So the key for me with helping people with hybrids, you do want a little bit of descent angle. You don't want to be hitting up like you would with a driver. Again, right between that driver and 7-iron with your ball position. You need to learn the patterns of shapes that you hit with your different lofts if you've got more than one. Definitely play my lower lofted one, 17, 18 degree, different to how I play my 23 degree. They shape differently. And then from there, it's about really committing to the stroke like any other shot. The actual swing with a hybrid, if anything for me, will feel fractionally closer to a driver. I'm generally going to be applying speed. I'm going to be trying hitting it full distance. But there's always situations where I will be happy to take speed off, change shape, like I said earlier, come down the grip. The beauty with a hybrid, because they pop up in the air so easily, is you can manipulate the shots, come down the handle, aim up the left, feel like you're going to hit almost a little cutty one in there and take 10 or 15 yards off the shot. Again, another little divot interaction with the ground is good. Don't be afraid to experiment with them. Don't be afraid to play with them, and don't be afraid to try these ideas from different lies. A few variations you might get, and if you want more videos on hybrids, post in that comments down below. We can do more. When I play it from a few different lies, let's pretend it's sat right up on a bit of grass. I might just move that ball position slightly further forward. I don't want to be quite as down at it. Let's say I'm sat down in a bit of rough. I might move that ball position slightly close to the 7-iron ball position now, because I do want to be a bit more down at it to try and pop it up. It's about experimenting, playing with them. You've got plenty of loft, plenty of pop up in the air if you can hit these. Use that to your advantage and play with it. Let me know in that comments down below if this helps. Definitely slightly closer a fairway wood than you would an iron. That's always the big question. Should I play it like an iron or a wood? Definitely a fraction closer to a wood. But again, for you, depending where you play those shots, find your sweet spot for that launch. Thanks for watching. Post comments down below. As always, see you in the next video.